Okay, guys, today's lesson is lesson 98. Number 1. In the Lerma family, there are 3 children. Juno is 10 years old, Jaquin is 2 years younger than Giovanna, and Jaquin is 4 years older than Juno. And so we know the first question is how old is Jaquin? And I know it is Juno plus 4, which 10 plus 4 is 14. So Jaquin is 14 years old. Giovanna, that is the question in part B. Giovanna is 2 years younger. Wait, no. Jaquin is 2 years younger than Giovanna. So this 14 is 2 less. So if we add 2, 14 plus 2, we get 16. And that is how old Giovanna is. Number 2. Deandra bought an artichoke and 6 pounds of carrots for $2.76. If the artichoke cost 84 cents, how much did 1 pound of carrots cost? So we have to take the artichokes away, so subtract them, before I can divide the pounds of carrots. So 6 minus 4 is 2. I can't take 8 from 7. 2 becomes 1. 7 is 17. Minus 8 is 9. Decimal 1. $1.92 is equal to 6 pounds of carrots. So now divide that by 6. 6 will not go into 1, but it will go into a 19 3 times. 3 times 6 is 18. Put your decimal in your answer. 9 minus 8 is 1, and bring down a 2. Goodness. How many 6's are in 12? That would be 2 times 6 is 12. Subtract that and you get 0. So each pound of carrots costs 32 cents on 2. Compare these two numbers, 206,353 compared to 209,124. I made the first digit that has a different value, a different color, and so basically you're really just comparing the red digits. So I can easily say that 9 is greater than 6. So it's really the less than symbol. 518,060 compared to 518,006. 6D is much larger than 6. Number 4, write these numbers in order from greatest to least. Do not look at the first digit and find the greatest in the first digit because some of these are 100,000s and some of these are 10,000s. So I see 2 numbers that have 100,000 place values. One is 120, one is 102. So 120,044 is the greatest. Then the other 100,000 place value number comes next. Now I'm comparing 89,000 something and 96,000. 96,000 is the next greatest. And 89,611 is the least. So you need to find the one that matches this order. 5. Choose the mixed number as a decimal. 5 and 31 thousandths. If you say this fraction, it gives you the answer. So that is equal to 5 and 31 thousandths would look like this. 5 and 31 thousandths. B. 16 and 7/10 is the next one. Right? I didn't miss one? Yeah. And that is equal to 16 with a decimal, and then in the tenths place you have a 7. C. 5 and 7/100, and you have no tenths and 7/100. Number 6, 3/5 of the team's 40 points were scored in the first half. So if you drew a picture, it would be these 3/5 were scored in the first half. We're dividing 40 by 5 to find what each fifth is equal to. 5 times 8 is 40. So each fifth is equal to 8. And we have 8 times 3 is 24 points on number 6. Number 7, 1/5 equals 20%. What is 3/5? So 1/5 is equal to 20%, which is the same as 21/100ths. If I multiply by 2, I get 6/10. 3 times 2 is 6, 5 times 2 is 10, and then you can just put a 0 on the end of that. 60/100ths. That is still not a percent, but we know any numerator of 100, you can just change to percent. 60% is equal to 3/5. Number 8, what's the word form of 7 and 68/100ths? There's only one option that gives you, oh no, phew, that was close. That gives you the option hundredths on number 8. So make sure you choose that one, hundredths. Um, 9, choose the word form of 76 and 8/10ths. There's only one that shows that. That is tenths. 10, which is the best estimate of 78 times 91? 7, look at the 8, we're going to round that to 80. 9, look at the 1, leave that at 90. Multiply. I'm actually going to rewrite that. Let the 90 hang over like that. And then put the 0 in your answer. 0. 9 times 8 is 72. So it should be 80 times 90 is 7,200. That's your answer on number 10. Number 11, choose the number of shaded squares below as a mixed number. And this is kind of confusing because you do have 13 shaded squares out of 10 altogether. So that really wasn't a fair option, but you need to tell me you have 1 and 3/10, because whenever you have a whole number and a fraction, that is called a mixed number. When you have a number, a numerator, that is bigger than your denominator, this is called an improper fraction. That is why 1 and 3/10 is correct. Part B, choose the number of shaded squares as a decimal. And so you need to look and see, those are tenths, not hundredths. That does matter. So you have 1 and 3/10 on number 11. 12. There are 24 people in one line, 16 people in the other. What's the average? And remember, that is when you take the number of numbers and divide by their sum. So 4 plus 6 is 10. 4. 40 divided by 2. 2 will go into 4 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. Mistake. 4 minus 4 is 0. Bring down your 0. It's still important to answer the question, how many 2's are in 0? 0 times 2 is 0, and there is no remainder. So the average is 20 people. Number 13, Michaela's school day ends 5 hours 20 minutes after the time shown on the clock. What time of day does Michaela's school day ends? So I went ahead, we're going to add it, even though that might give us some kind of military time or even something that's just totally unreasonable. It does give us a good place to start. So 40 plus 20 is 60. I hope you see a problem with that. 9 plus 5 is 14. So I don't ever look at the clock and say it's 1460. So the first thing I'm going to do is count how many hours past 12 that is. So 12, 13, 14. So that would be 2 hours after 12, 2 hours 60. This 60 minutes can be regrouped as an hour. So it is really 3 o'clock p.m. 3 o'clock p.m. Number 14, Mr. Romano could bake 27 dozen whole wheat muffins in 3 hours. The first question, how many dozen whole wheat muffins could he bake in 1 hour? So we know 9 times 3 is 27. So we divided the number of muffins by 27 dozen divided by 3 hours to give us how many he could make in 1 hour. So he can make 9 dozen in 1 hour. 15, 3 and 65 hundredths plus 4 and 2 tenths plus 625 thousandths. Add them up. I get 5, 7, 6 and 6 is 12, 13, 14. Decimal carry. 4 and 4 would be 8. 8 and 475 thousandths on number 15. Number 16, $13.70 minus $6.85. I cannot take 5 from 0, so 7 becomes a 6. This 0 becomes a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. I cannot take 8 from 6. 3 becomes a 2. 6 becomes 16 minus 8 is 8. Decimal, again, cannot take 6 from 2. I don't know why I marked out the 6. So mark out your 1. 1 becomes a 0. 2 becomes 12 minus 6 is 6. Finally, we get $6.85 on number 16. 17, 26 times 100. Just put those zeros in your answer. Mark them out. 6 times 1 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. 2,600. 18, 87 cents times 9. 9 times 7 is 63. 9 times 8 is 72. Plus 6 is 78. 2 decimal places. And you get 7 and 83 hundredths. Only this is money. And I didn't write my dollar sign. $7.83. How about that? Number 19. 14 times 16, practicing that 2 by 2. 4 times 6 is 24. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 2 is 8. Do 3 things. 1, 2, 3. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. Add them up. 4, 12, 2. 224 is number 19. 20, 15 squared. 15 times 15, 5 times 5 is 5. No, 25. Carrier 2. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 2 is 7. And now I need to do 1, 2, 3 things. Now I start all over again. 1 times 5, 5. 1 times 1, 1. And add 5, 12, 2, 225. 21, 456 divided by 6. 6 will go into 45. 7 times 6 is 42. 5 minus 2 is 3. And your new number is 36. 6 times 6 is 36. You have no remainder this time. Your answer on number 21 is 76. 22. Let your 0 hang over. Put it in your answer. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 4 is 24. Plus 4 is 28. 2,820. 23. 6x equals 4,248. So what happens is we want to find out what 1x is equal to. So if I bought 6 hamburgers, or this is a large amount for 6 hamburgers, let's say I bought 6 refrigerators for the school. And I wanted to know how much each one cost, but I only knew how much they cost altogether. I could divide by the number that we bought to find out what each one cost. So 6 times 7 is 42. Subtract and you have none left over. And now you have 4. Does 6 fit into 4? No, it does not. So I put a 0. 0 times 6 is 0. 4 minus 0 is 4. And I bring down an 8. 6 times what is 48? 6 times 8 is 48. And I have no remainder, and each refrigerator costs $708. 24. 163 divided by 1 is a ridiculous question, because anytime you divide by 1, you're going to get the same answer. But let me prove it. 1 times 1 is 1. Bring down a 6. How many 1s are in 6? 6. 6 times 1 is 6. None left over. Bring down a 3. How many 1s are in 3? 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. The answer is 163. 25. 49 divided by 5. 5 will not go into 4, but it will go into 49. Not quite 10 times, so 9. 9 times 5 is 45. 9 minus 5 is 4. Decimal in your answer. You could go ahead and put a $sign right there too. Bring down a 0. 5 times 8 is 40. None left over. How many 5s are in 0? 0 times 5 is 0. No remainder. $9.80 on number 25. Number 26. The table represents the equation y equals 2x plus 3. You're going to be seeing more of these in future homework. What is the value of y when x is 2, x is 3, and y when x is 4? So I made a mistake here, but I'll just go ahead and tell you what it means. X is equal to 4 here because I changed this x to a 4 and put it in the equation that they gave me. I didn't solve all 3 equations. So y is equal to 2 times 4 plus 3. Y is equal to 8 plus 3. Y is equal to 11 on number 26. 27. How many 1-foot square tiles are needed to cover the floor of a room that is 15 feet long and 10 feet wide? That is an area question. So multiply length times width. 5 times 10, so 0 in your answer. 5, 1. 150 floor tiles are needed. 28. Find the median on this set of numbers. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and 13. The median is let me double check. I believe that's the middle number. Yeah. So I have 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and 13. They won't always be listed nice in an order like this, but I did do that. So you mark 1 off each end. 1, 1, 1, 1, and you get the middle number of 3. Find the mode. The mode is the number you see the most. So I see the number 1 twice is the only number that occurs more than once. So the mode is 1. 29. What geometric shape is a globe? A globe is a sphere. Another example of a sphere would be a basketball, a baseball, a globe. If you can think of some other things, feel free to email me, but those are all examples of spheres. Number 30, what's the geometric name for this solid? This solid is a cube. On number 30A, this is a cube. And a cube has how many faces? You guys can kind of count those. So if you have 4 on the side and 2 on the top, it has 6 faces. And the angles are all like this. And I could put this in there, which shows you they are all 90-degree right angles. Alright, so this is where the math stops, and if you're not interested in listening anymore, then you can go ahead and turn your computer off. But if you are interested, I'm going to tell you about my day-to-day just because I miss you. Today I went and I made sure my grandparents had everything they needed, and then I went magnet fishing. So I took this magnet and I kept throwing it into a lake to see what I could find, and I found nothing. And then we had pizza, and then I came home and I started getting ready to for your guys' lessons next week. That's about it. I don't know. I'm teaching middle school next year. I'm getting your science and math stuff ready. It looks like I'm going to be teaching not all science and math, but almost all the science and some math. So if you liked having science with me, you're in luck because we'll probably see each other again, at least in some grade. So I'm pretty excited about that. If you guys have any questions or you want to let me know what you've been up to, you can. I miss you, and I'll see you next year.